It's Jamaica vibes. Get ready with me while I tell y'all the story about how I ended up with 4 boys.
See, young on the beat. Ooh, they just don't know what to do. Cause I'm always on 10. And shawty always going.
So, I had met my husband in 2018, I believe. I had already had a son. He was 3 months old at the time. His father ended up going to prison. And then when he was locked up, I found out this girl that I've been talking to, that he has been calling his cousin, was actually pregnant by him. So he was telling me, you could talk to this girl about your pregnancy since this is your first pregnancy, and you could talk to her about all your symptoms or whatever. So I was getting really cool with her. And then I found out that's his baby. Oh! Then I left him. And then a few months later, I had met my husband, right? And then after that, I ended up pregnant again. And then so a few years go by, and I'm like, I want to try for a girl. Like, I really want a girl, like, so bad. And then so we try again. Come to find out, it was another boy. And then I'm like, okay, I'm done, right? After that, another year goes by. Boom, pregnant again. And I'm like, okay, we're gonna do a gender reveal this time because I know it's gonna be a girl, but I want it to be a surprise, you know? And then, so we have the gender reveal, right? It's another boy. I'm so upset. Like, Lord, why can't I have a girl? Like, why don't you want to give me a girl? Like, I would have a pretty girl, right? And then, so about another year goes past, right? Pregnant again. So I'm over the little gender reveal thing. I just want to know, like, is it a girl? Like, and then come to find out, guess what? It's a boy. Ooh. So now it's just like, I'm done trying. And I really believe when people say, when you want to have a girl or if you want to have a boy, you're going to get the complete opposite. Because it happened to me 4 times. Like, my first baby, I wanted him to be a boy because I always wanted a baby boy. And then the second one, I also wanted to be a boy because I wanted them to grow up together. Like, brothers, you know? And then the other 2, I just wanted a girl for once. Like, I just wanted at least one girl. And then God gave me 2 big-headed, peanut-shaped head boys that drive me insane every day. So now I got 4 boys to take care of. And I'm scared to try for another girl. I got a whole new man now. I left my husband about a year ago. I left him in 2013.
A few minutes later. 12 seconds later.
23. Sorry. 2023. I left him in 2023, right? Ain't heard from him in a year. And I'm grateful. Because that was one of the worst relationships I have been in. Even though we seemed happy and we was having babies back to back to back to back to back.
Who are you?
Nah, he was like the worst man I have ever been with in my life. And yes, he did have his little sweet side, but under all that sweetness was somebody with mental issues who I feel like really needed Jesus, needed something, needed therapy, needed medication, needed something, because something was wrong with him.
Oh! Somebody! Oh! He needs some milk!
Like, so I'm going to tell y'all the story about him. So he was like, he had like a very like paranoid personality. Like, he had a very paranoid personality, right? Like, we lived like in this little alleyway, and cars like to drive down that alley a lot. And every time a car drove past, he would run to the window. Like, who's that? Like, you don't know these people. Why are you running to the window trying to figure out who's driving past? And you don't know none of these people out here. Like what are you so paranoid for? And then he also like had a drinking problem. And what really irritated me with his drinking problem is that he has seizures. And like, I was always there for him through his seizures and everything like that for years. Aww. And then he would drink knowing it's gonna trigger his seizures, you know. So that's what really irritated me, because now like you drinking and you know you're gonna have a seizure, so now you're fucking up my day because I gotta sit in the house with you and take care of you while you're having seizures because you want to drink. Like, that's really irritated me. Like, you know you're not supposed to be drinking because it's gonna trigger your seizures, but you do it anyway because you know somebody's here to help you through your seizures. Not anymore. Ooh. But anyway, yeah, he's just weird to me. And then on top of that, he had really bad anger issues, especially when he was drunk. He would get very angry, right, towards me for no reason, like just any reason to be angry, and try to be violent towards me and all type of stuff. Like, and I put up with that since 2018, like, because I didn't love him, even though he had problems and anger issues. I let that man put his hands on me for years.
Stupid.
6 years. And then like 23, I was just finally like, I had enough, like I'm leaving. Like, and I tried to leave him before that, like way before that. And it didn't go as I planned. Like, I just told him straight up, like, I'm not happy. I don't want to be with you anymore. That man went crazy. Like, long story short, he didn't let me leave. I'm just gonna leave it at that. But, so I had to think of another way to leave him, right? I had to be sneaky with it. And so, like, I had dentist appointments and stuff. So, like, I told him I had a dentist appointment on a certain day. And, like, I told him, okay, I'm about to leave to my dentist appointment. And I felt like he already knew that I was about to leave him. So he was trying to walk with me to my dentist appointment. And then, like 20 minutes into our walk, he's like, okay, it's hot. I'm finna go back home. Let me know when you make it. And I'm like, all right. And I got to the dentist office, right? And then I had called one of my friends to come. Mind you, I lived all the way in Bakersfield. My friend lived all the way in Barstow. That's like probably a 3-hour drive, 2.5-hour drive. And then so I had called my friend and I'm like, hey, I really want to leave him. Like, can you, if I give you gas money, will you come to Bakersfield and take me to Barstow? And then he's like, yeah. And then I'm like, okay. So I get to the dentist office. I didn't really have an appointment. I was just really sitting in front of the building the whole time. And so I get there and I had called him like, hey, come and get me. I'm over here. This is my address. This is the address I'm at. And then he's like, all right, on my way. So I'm sitting there for 3 hours. My husband's texting me like, did you make it? I'm like, yes, I made it. He's like, the kids get out of school in an hour, so are you gonna make it back to pick them up, or do I gotta come and go and pick them up? I'm like, I'll pick them up. And then, mind you, I walked to this doctor's appointment. So, and it was a far walk. It's probably like a 30-minute walk. So, like, I walked to the dentist's office, waited there, and I was bored, so I was really just walking around and stuff. And I was nervous that my husband would get in the car and drive to the dentist appointment. Which I'm thinking about now, like, why did he walk me? Why did he try to walk me to the dentist office when he could have let me take the car? Or he could have drove me? That part I still don't understand. But I didn't really think about it. All I was thinking about was getting out of there. Like I'm just barely thinking about that now. And then, so yeah, my friend comes, he's like, I'm about an hour away. So I'm walking towards the school, which is about another 30 minutes in like the opposite direction from where my dentist office was. Like, and so I was walking for another 30 minutes. And so I get to the school, and I'm kind of like not at the school, just in case my husband wants to go to the school, just in case I'm not done in time to pick up the kids. So I'm over there like kind of like down the street from the school, but I'm close. So when my ride gets there, I can hurry up and grab the kids and leave. Right. And then so he comes, he's like, I'm 30 minutes away or whatever. So I go to this little restaurant. I forgot what restaurant it's called. It's like a little Mexican restaurant. I sat there, ate some food. Their food was good. And then he comes and picks me up. And then, like, I'm texting my husband, right? Because, like, I wanted my stuff. And I was like, I'm leaving. I just want to know if I can come get my stuff. He's like, what do you mean you're leaving? I'm like, I'm leaving. And then, so he's like, yeah, you can come get your stuff, right? So me just being stupid, right? I have him take me, the one who picked me up take me to my house and get my stuff, right? So I go up there and he's like, come in and get your stuff. I'm like, no, just put it in the bag. He's like, I already packed your stuff up and just come up here and get it. I'm like, no, just throw it down the stairs. Because I did not want to go in there because I already knew what was going to happen, right? So he's like, no, it's right here by the door. Just come in and grab it. My stupid self decides to go up the stairs and grab my bags, right? And then, so as I'm like by the door, he's like, look, your stuff right there. So I like peek my head in and try to look. He grabbed my jacket and pulled me in the house and locked my door. Oh! And then, so I'm in the house. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, you're not going anywhere. You're not going anywhere. And then I'm like, move, like, just let me go. Like, I want to leave. Let me go. And then he's like, no, you're not going anywhere. And then so he take my phone and he look at all the messages between me and the other guy. And he's like, so you're going to have a dude come over here and pick you up and take you to Barstow? I'm like, yeah, like, I don't want to be here no more. And then, so he smashed my phone. I was so upset. And then, mind you, the one who was coming to pick me up was waiting downstairs in the car. And then, like, I looked out the window, I noticed he was gone. So he probably drove off when he seen me get snatched up and dragged in the house. Then, about a week later, I had tried to text him. I had this little Alexa square thingy, you know, the square ones with the screen. I had one of those, and I got on there and I logged on my Instagram, and I had texted him. And then I was like, I'm sorry. He's like, what happened? Like, I drove all the way out there for nothing. Like, you wasted my time, my gas. I'm like, I'm sorry. Like, I didn't know he was gonna do that. He smashed my phone and all that stuff. He's like basically asking me if I'm okay and stuff. I'm telling him, like, yeah, I'm okay. And then probably 2 weeks after that, 2, maybe 3, I had texted him again, like, I was like, I'm sorry about what happened last time. Like, would you ever come back out here to pick me up again? And then he was like, yeah. And I'm like, really? Like, yeah. And then I'm like, okay. So, and then I made plans with him. I was like, okay, so on Monday, I'm going to tell him I got another dentist appointment. And basically, we're going to try the same thing again. So Monday comes, I'm telling my husband I got a dentist appointment again to get another tooth pulled out. And then he's like, all right, I'm going to drive you to make sure you get to this dentist appointment. I'm like, okay. So he dropped me off, he leave. And then I'm in the dentist appointment. I'm in the dentist office. And when I go in there, I tell him I'm just using the bathroom because I didn't really have an appointment. So I go in the bathroom. I call my friend again. I'm like, hey, I'm at the dentist office. Are you ready to come get me? And then he's like, yeah, same spot. I'm like, yeah. And he's like, all right. And then so, long story short, he comes back out there to come get me. I say, fuck all my clothes. Like, I don't need them. I'll just get new clothes. I'll get new stuff, whatever. I go to the school, pick up my kids, get straight on the freeway. And then my husband started calling me because it was around the time where my kids got out of school. He was like, I'm about to go pick up the kids or whatever. And then I'm like, I already have them. And he's like, oh, okay, so you're on your way back, you're walking? And then I'm like, yeah. Then he's like, wait, you walked all the way to the school to pick up the kids? I'm like, nah, I got a ride. He's like, what you mean you got a ride? Who you get a ride from? And I'm like, I'm just going, basically, I'm stop beating around the bush. I'm just going to say it. I'm leaving, I'm going on my way to Barstow. I already got the kids. I'm leaving right now.
Got him!
He's like, come back to the house, we can talk about it. I'm like, nah. Last time I came to the house, you kidnapped me.
Oh!
And then he's like, man, he's like, I knew this was going to happen. I knew you was planning all this or whatever. And then, like, I'm basically saying, like, since you knew I wanted to leave, why you didn't just let me leave the first time? Because you knew it was going to happen again.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
And then, long story short, he just stopped texting me. He didn't really care no more. Then, I stopped talking to him. The last time I heard from him was December last year. And we was cool. Like, we was on our, like, co-parenting type thing. Like, he was calling, talking to the kids. And then he decided to ask me, like, do you got a new man now or whatever? I'm like, yeah. He's like, you got a new man already? I'm like, it's been like 6 months. He's like, you got a new man already? And then I'm like, yeah. And then my new man wasn't the one who came pick me up. That was really just my friend. I had met my new boyfriend through him and stuff. But yeah, I had met him when I first came out here to Barstow. And we've been cool ever since. And then we got together, whatever. And then, yeah, I told my husband about him. And then he got mad. He was like, I'm about to come to your house. Expect to get your door kicked down or whatever. I'm finna get you and him. And when I say get, y'all know what I mean. Like, I'm finna get you and him. Like, okay, come. I don't care. And then yeah, like, and he never came. Like, he had ended up living in Vegas with his mama. And then I got my own place out here in Barstow. And he never came. He never showed up. I was up, like, low-key kind of scared because I felt like he was going to come kick my door down and get me and him both. And then, like, he don't even live with me, so he would have to find him because I'm not finna tell him where my man live. But, yeah, he's talking about I'm finna get you and him both or whatever. So I was up waiting. He never came. And I ain't heard from him since. But he ain't called to check on his kids, his 4 kids. I just been doing everything by myself. But I don't need him. I don't want him. I'm glad he ain't called me. For real, because every time I was trying to, like, call him and co-parent with him and be cool and everything for the kids. And he was just worried about other stuff, like, why did you leave me? Who's your new man? Where does he live? Like, just all type of stuff that don't matter. Like, we're not talking about that. We're talking about the kids. Like, that's what we're focused on. That's what I called you about. Like I wasn't asking him for nothing. Like, I wasn't calling him, asking him for money or none of that. Like, I'm just, like, say hi to your kids. Like, your kids are always wondering where their dad's at. Like, And then he gonna try to get on my phone, talking to the kids, talking about the reason daddy's not around is because mommy. Daddy didn't leave you. Mommy took you guys away from me. I'm like, don't tell them that, because like when they older, they gonna know why I left you. Like I'm not trying to speak bad on him because that's their dad, but like if they ever questioned it and they're old enough to know, I will tell them. And my oldest son, he already knows. He's only 7, and he already knows what it was when I was with him. Like he would see me walking around with a black eye. He'd be like, "Daddy did that? Why Daddy do that?" I'm like, cause he's a kid, so I'm like, "No, Daddy didn't do it." He's like, "What happened?" I'm like, "I hurt myself. Like I fell or whatever." But my son, he wasn't stupid. Like he's about to be 8 years old now. Like, and he was probably like 5 at this time. He's not stupid. He knew what was going on. Like my husband was thinking, just because he put the kids in the room, they can't hear what's going on the other side of the door. Like they see mama crying, they see mommy with bruises and blood on her face and all type of stuff. Like I just had to get my kids out of that situation, because that's not healthy for kids to be around. Like, so like when they're old enough, they'll know everything. But I'm not trying to keep them away from their father or none of that. I just feel like they should know the truth, because they kind of already know, even though they're really young. But they knew what was happening. Like, they're not dumb. And every time, like, even now, like, when I was cool with their dad, still talking on the phone with him or whatever, I'll be like, "Do you guys want to go to Daddy's house for a little bit?" And they'll be like, "No, we don't want to go to Dad's house." And they're only 3, 4, 6, 7. Like, they don't want to go to their dad's house. He would never hurt the kids. He's never put his hands on the kids. Like, he's not that type of person, but he still is crazy. Like, I trust him with the kids and all, because he never hurt the kids. But yeah, like, they would never go to his house. Like, I'd be like, "You want to go to your dad's house?" And they'd be like, "No." And then, like, he would get mad. Like, "What did you tell them?" Like, I'm like, "I didn't tell them nothing. They said they don't want to go. They don't want to go." But, like, my kids, like, they're young, but they're smart. They know what's going on. They know what was going on. They know everything. Like, and, like, when they get older, they gonna know everything. Like, I'll make sure they know. Well, if they ask, I'll make sure they know. Like, it wasn't me. Like, I didn't take you guys away from your dad. Your dad was crazy, and he was hurting me. I know this video kind of went off topic. Like, I was supposed to be talking about how I ended up with 4 boys, and I ended up talking about that man. But yeah, moral of the story, I wanted a girl. I ended up with 4 boys by a crazy man. But my kids, I love them all, even though they get on my nerves every day. And yeah, tune in for more videos. This is Jamaica Vibes. If y'all want to see my music videos, they are also on my page. So just click on my name and make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And I'm out.
Ooh, they just don't know what to do, cause I'm always on 10, and shawty always going, because I'm different than you. They just don't know what to do, cause I'm always on 10, and shawty always going.